Hello there. In this session, we're going to learn about how to create a flat pattern. Here on the screen, we have a model that has 3 dimensions. These dimensions are called true distance dimensions, and they are called out from 2 opposing flat surfaces. It has a 2-inch, 3-inch, and a 1-inch dimension. These dimensions are called true distance dimensions, and this is the method that we're going to use to figure out this flat pattern. Alright, so to find out the flat pattern, you must first deduct the setback from its leg. Then find the bend allowance in the bend allowance chart. Then add the legs and bend allowances, and this will equal to your total flat pattern. So what's the first thing we do? Let's take a look at everything that we have here. Alright, we have our material thickness. Our material thickness is 0.125 and our inside radius is 0.125. So when we're looking to see what is our setback, we need to add both material thickness and the inside radius. Why inside radius? Because that's where the bending occurs. The inside radius is also called a nose radius. We should never do calculations from the outside radius. This right here is the outside radius. This is the inside radius. Okay, so now what we have to do is calculate what the lengths of the legs are. Leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3. Leg 1 has a 2-inch dimension with 1 bend. Leg 2 has a 3-inch dimension with 2 bends. Leg 1 has a 1-inch dimension with 1 bend. So we have a total of 2 bends, and we're calling this one setback 1 and setback 2. Setback 1, setback 2. A setback is equal to the material thickness plus the inside radius. So when you add these two, you have a setback that is equal to 0.25. So our setback is equal to this plus this, and it's 0.25, that is. So this is our setback, 0.25. Okay, now what we have to do is remove our setbacks to leave the legs alone by themselves. So this is how it's going to look like. Alright, so how do we do that? We start with leg 1. Leg 1 has a dimension of 2 inches minus 1 setback, and that leaves us with a 175-inch leg. Leg 2 has a dimension of 3 inches, and we have 2 setbacks, and that leaves us with 2.5 inches. Leg 3 has a dimension of 1 inch minus 1 setback, which leaves us with a 0.75 leg. Alright, after we figure this out, we remove the setbacks. We just have to rotate the legs to where they are laying flat horizontally, and make sure you space them apart a little bit so we can leave room for our bend allowance. Alright, the bend allowance for this, according to the chart, is 0.284, and this is the length that is needed to fill in the space right here, between the legs 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So how do we figure this out? How do we figure out the bend allowance? The best way to figure out is by using a chart. The bend allowance chart has a top row where you can find the inside radius, okay? And the leftmost column has the material thickness. When we look for the bend allowance, you look for the corresponding numbers from the top row and the left column, then triangulate the number. So we look for 125 on the material thickness, and we look for 125 on the radius, and we triangulate, and we have 0.284 as our number. Okay, so that's the space that we need to use to fill in the gap between legs 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. Legs 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in those in, and after you insert your bend allowance, you can create a final dimension for a total length, and that will give you your flat pattern, okay? So once again, determine what your material thickness is and your inside radius so you can establish your setback. Identify your legs 1, 2, and 3. Then from there you remove your setbacks, okay? Lay the legs straight and replace the setbacks with the bend allowances and take an overall dimension. And that'll do it. Thank you.